let me start with an introduction of who I am. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bella Vasta. I own Bella's Health and Pet Sitting in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. We've had that company for 11 years, and in 2007, I started Jump Consulting. I believe that starting or expanding your business is a lot like jumping out of an airplane, hence Jump Consulting, and have worked very closely with Power Pet Sitter over the past 5 years that I've been a personal client and advocate of the service. I am very honored to be the first speaker in their inaugural series of speakers, and I'm sure Catherine or Shannon will tell you at the end of the call who they've got coming up in the pipeline. And just so that you do all know, this call is going to be recorded. So for those who might not be able to get to listen to the whole thing, we can listen to it at jumpconsulting.net as soon as it's posted, and we'll also send you an email. So I'm going to go through 5 steps and tools that I really want to make sure everyone's actually using. I'm sure the main reason why most of us have this wonderful Power Pet Sitting software, or maybe thinking about getting it, is basically to make our processes streamlined. As your business grows, you are going to have a lot of demands on your time. Power Pet Sitter, the obvious answer, helps get people scheduled, get information to your clients, to your sitters. And as I talk to sitters all around the country, and in different countries actually, I find that a lot of people aren't using the system to the fullest capability they possibly can. And because of that, they're still spending a lot of time on their business through Power Pet Sitter because they're just not utilizing it. So I'm going to go through 5 different tips and sub-tips, if you will, to help rock your world and give you back time. So you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs wondering what you're going to do with your time. So the first one, I always suggest that you have a sign-up on your website. As an example, if any of you are at the computer right now, you can go to callbellas.com, and you can click on Schedule Services. This is exactly what I tell callers on the phone if I'm not able to send them an email with a link. Power Pet Sitter enables you to grab links from them so that if you're a new client, you can go straight to a new client and start signing up. If you're an existing client, you can log right on in and book your appointment. The problem with this, I find a lot of pet sitters doing, is they like to set up profiles for customers first and not let the customer do it. I would like to encourage you and remind you that we are in the information age. People are on their iPads or their tablets. They're on their cell phones, and they have a problem, and they need a solution to their problem the quickest. And if somebody can go right online and sign up with you, they're going to feel a lot more connected with you. It helps, like I said, it helps you be a solution to the problem. It also cuts down the time that you have to spend putting information in the system. This system is so robust that why not have the client sign up? When the client signs up, this also helps familiarize them with the system. So now in the future, they feel comfortable scheduling themselves because they've already been around the system. Another awesome point to this whole let them sign themselves up is not only are they comfortable with the system and scheduling, but now if Fluffy's medications go from 1 milliliter to 5 milliliters, you do not need a phone call. All they need to do is go online, and it's our job to train them how to do that. So giving them that ability and enforcing and encouraging them to go online and help themselves to your company and to scheduling. Well, it's 2 in the morning and you decided you're going to go to Vegas this weekend. Go ahead, go online. You don't have to worry about calling me. It's going to make your life so much better and cut down on the stress of the phone ringing, the phone buzzing with a text message, emails coming at you. Make this available and let the system work for you. The second point is purchasing QuickBooks online so you never have to enter in invoices manually. Now, I'm sure all of our businesses run very different, but at the end of the day, you have accounts receivable, and you need to match it up. You need to have an invoice or a check and know what you're actually checking off the list. Yes, this is paid. Yes, this is not. As you grow bigger, you're going to, unless you are already, need a bookkeeper or an accountant. QuickBooks Online enables everybody to be able to be on the same page and not have to print out things or print them out and attach files and send them. I can't remember the last time I've created an invoice because Power Pet Sitter is so robust that the minute you hit approve, it goes straight to QuickBooks, and there you go, it's in there. Then my bookkeeper knows when I get payment, I just have to match it up to the invoice. It's that easy. So having QuickBooks is really great. It's especially great if pet sitting isn't your only income, and maybe you have multiple streams of income or multiple incomes in your home. It's really great to have everything all in one place so that you can manage it. On a moment's notice, you can start pulling profit and loss statements or a balance sheet. You can know exactly where you are. And I'm always a big believer of sticking with the professionals. QuickBooks does that. They've built a brand and a company name on it. They get it. I personally don't endorse having software inside of a pet sitting software because I want the pet sitting software to be the expert on pet sitting software. And I want the accounting software to be the go-to resource for the accounting software. So it's a marriage made in heaven, and if you're not using it, it's really going to cut down the amount of time and bookkeeping that you personally have to do. If you ever have to put in any kind of invoice to any kind of system, you need to be using the QuickBooks. I promise you, the small fee that it does cost per year will totally outweigh the reward. And if you don't believe me, I want you to figure out what your time is worth per hour. And I want you to estimate how many hours a week you think that you're spending on putting things into a accounting software system or recording them or writing them down, however your method works. I want you to take those hours and add them all up and tell me that it does not add up or more than the small QuickBooks fee a year. So please consider QuickBooks Online. Number 3, get on a schedule. I'm going to tell you a story. I like to teach, for those of you who know me, through my own examples. This is what my weekends look like. On Saturday, I sit down and I pull a Power Pet Sitter that shows me the people that are going to be coming up for their first pet sit within the next 8 days. I say 8 because I usually in my head am thinking Monday to Monday, but since it's Saturday night or Saturday morning, I include Sunday in that. I go ahead and I send them all a confirmation. So not only do they get a confirmation when they book, but they also get a confirmation about a week ahead of time. Well, basically, I tell them 1 day to 7 days ahead of time. And my clients know that. They can count on that. So they get that invoice. They know they're in the system. Everything's hunky-dory. The second thing is on Sundays, I go in and I'm sorry, that's Saturdays. I do the confirmations. On Monday, I sit down and I charge everyone with that same exact list that I just pulled up for the coming week. Say there's like 20 invoices on there. I'll go straight down that list, and that's how I charge. I personally don't use the automatic credit card system in Power Pet Sitter. Again, this is my example. I sit down, I charge everybody, and then I'm done. So my charging takes less than a half hour, and you can streamline it even more if you use Authorize.net, but unfortunately my credit card processing system is not Authorize.net. So getting on the schedule makes it extremely easy because all you're doing is picking up all the bookings, and then you're sending confirmations, and then you're charging, and then you're done for the week. Now what happens when you get those stragglers, those people that fall in the middle of your system? I have a list that I put them on, and then I charge them the next week. But by sitting down and doing all the charges on one day and doing all the confirmations on one day, it ensures that nothing slips through the cracks. So I'm using the system that I've got. The fourth is create a guide and invite clients to call you to schedule appointments. Now, you're always going to have the really tech-savvy people that get it, but you're always going to have the people that have questions. And it's your job to answer their questions. It's a perfect time to write a blog or maybe put a little link on your scheduling page for a step-by-step, look here. You can create it. You can maybe use one that another pet sitter's created. Power Pet Sitter has actually created it for you. And actually, on a side note, this isn't even in my notes, they have a whole how to use the system that I actually have in my employee manual, so my employees understand how to use the system. Power Pet Sitter has a lot of great things for you to use. All you got to do is ask them. But part of the great thing is when you can actually help coach clients through it. Oh, I'm having a hard time on the system. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, the system's there to make your life better. Are you in front of the computer right now? Can I walk you through it? You get onto that client's thing, and you press log in as client, so you can see exactly what they're seeing and you can walk it through. It's a great feature, and the clients know that now you care, and you're empowering them through teaching them. Knowledge is power, and they're going to get really powerful from you when you sit down and you actually teach them how to use the system. It is worth the 5 or 10 minute investment on your part. If you sit down with them, they're never going to have a question again. They're going to know that you really care, and guess who's going to be scheduling online the next time instead of bothering you? That's going to drastically help your life. The other thing is you might get calls, and people might say, hi, I'd like to book for, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 visits a day, da-da-da-da, okay? My standard response to people is always, you know what, I'm so sorry, I'm out of the office right now. I'm really afraid that I will forget to put it in, so could you please go online and do it? Maybe they have an objection to it. Well, I don't know how to do it, da-da-da-da, I'm here, I'm having troubles. Would you like me to walk you through it? Or maybe they say, oh, yeah, I'll do it tonight. And I say, okay, know that it's only in the books if you get a confirmation. So that way you're actually redirecting them. It's like we're training a dog. You tell a dog to sit, you give it a bone. If it doesn't sit, it doesn't get a bone. If they don't schedule, they don't get a confirmation. My standard response, I don't care where I am, if I'm sitting on the couch, I'm sorry, I'm not in the office right now. I'd hate for anything to slip through the cracks. Please go online and schedule. Again, if they can't schedule, if they really, really can't schedule, then I tell them to email me it. Put it in writing, and that it's never confirmed until they get a confirmation from the schedule, because that means they're officially on the schedule, right? So don't be afraid to redirect people back. If they say, I want to book with you, don't think it's bad customer service. Lead with the foot of positivity and encouragement. Hey, it's a great new system, or it's a great system that we have to make sure that nothing's ever missed. We really need to have you go online to do it. There's the volume's just too much, and it's really a foolproof way to make sure your pet gets visited and nothing slips through the cracks. They'll appreciate your honesty. They will. The fifth one, consider separating the services so you know which one are your money makers and where you need to focus more marketing efforts on. Are all your visits the same? If I were to go into your Power Pet Sitter right now and it says day visits, AM, noon, PM, for example, can you tell me by using the awesome reports that Power Pet Sitter has if those were puppy visits, if they were cat visits, if they were dog visits, if they were daily visits, or if they were vacation visits? I really encourage you to look at your list of services. Of course, you always want to keep it simple, but consider at the very least to have pet sitting visits and then daily visits. So you can tell me right now that 24% of your visits are daily dog walking visits. The system is there for you to use it. I want to encourage you to really use it to the best of your ability. Why is this important? Well, if you want more cat visits because you realize that cat visits are only 10% of your visits, maybe you're going to start blogging about cat sitter or cat sitting in your area. Maybe your rack cards or your business cards or your flyers or whatever kind of marketing material you have is going to be campaigned at cat. It's going to drastically help you. This is the same example for overnight. I've seen pet sitters at an average of about 25% of overnights of their total revenue. You can easily just find out, am I in line with that? Do I want to bump it up more? Is it more or less than last year for overnight? Sure, you can tell revenue this and last year, but can you break it down into those little things? That is going to help you with your marketing efforts tremendously. The last thing, which I consider a bonus, is the mobile website. Now, although, and I'm sure Catherine and Shannon know this, you can't really see the gate codes or the alarm codes on the mobile version. The rest of it is pretty darn awesome. It makes it so that there's no reason why pet sitters can ever not know their schedule or the client notes or an address. That mobile system is there for you. And simply put, for those of you who don't know, it's powerpetsitter.net/M. And that's M for mobile. When you get there, you're going to have to enter in your company ID, which is actually the 4, maybe 5 digits. I don't know now. Maybe Shannon or Catherine can help me with that one. It's your company code. So you put in your company code, your username, your password, and then you're in the system if you don't want to actually go to the actual physical website. The physical website takes longer to download, because it's not a mobile version, but this is the backdoor mobile version. And it's a great thing for your pet sitters. My pet sitters use it all the time because they're in the field. So make that part of your training program, for those of you with staff. Make it part of your daily weapons, essentially, for those of you without staff. So that was kind of quick that I went through it. I am going to attempt to unmute you guys, and you guys can unmute yourself as well. If you have any questions when it comes customer service related, I can definitely help you and give you the words or the verbiage to use to help redirect them or whatever your question might be. If it's software specific, then Catherine or Shannon will be here to answer those questions because, of course, I am not the owner of it, but it is tremendously helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody, and we'll see how this goes.
Hi, Bella.
Hello?
Bella?
Hi.
Hi, I had a quick question. What was the mobile website address?
It's powerpetsitter.net/M like Mary or mobile.
So then that site will be easier to read for, like, say, if we have staff or even for us if we're on the go.
Oh, yeah.
Is it much larger? Oh,
Take a look at it. I mean, get into it and see for yourself. It's really awesome because it's just, there's no HTML. It's just all text. It's textual.
And you can see it, and if you wanted to log into your computer versus, just to see what it looks like if you're in front of a computer now, you can do that now. And it's / not backslash, but /.
Oh, thanks, Shannon.
/. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Bella.
Yes. Who's this?
When you said that you send a confirmation to all of your new clients or just all of your clients, on that Saturday, do you do that through reports?
Yes, I do. Who is this talking?
Sorry, this is Lauren with Little Friends Pet Sitting in Charlotte.
Okay, Lauren. Yeah. Yes, exactly. I go straight to reports, and then I go, let me get into it. I think it's appointment confirmations at the bottom left, and maybe Shannon knows it at the back of her hand.
Appointment conversations, bottom left.
Okay.
It's like I know it, like seeing it, but I'm going into it right now so I can tell you exactly where I go.
Fine.
But it's fantastic. It's set for 3 days, and what I do is I actually put it for 8. So, yes, reports, scroll down to the very bottom under Perform and Action, and I go to Appointment Confirmation. From Appointment Confirmations, I changed the date to show me the ones coming up in the next 8 days.
Okay.
And then I click Check All, so it checks all of them, and I send a confirmation. And I usually uncheck myself because I don't need those confirmations.
Now, and is that
and then I just print that screen, and that screen is basically my what I know that I need to charge for the invoices that are coming up.
Okay. Now, but does that send a confirmation to the sitter as well?
If you have that checked, absolutely. There's 3, just like when you approve an invoice, it says to admin, to staff, to client. So if you keep that checked, then yes, the staff also gets that.
I've got a question for you.
Yes, who am I talking to?
My name is Karen Peterson, and I'm in Walk and Wag in Clearwater, Florida.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. I'd like to know where the user manual is, because I don't find it on our information or on the main Power Pet Sitter website. Because I'm getting ready to hire about 5 more people, and I'd like to give them that manual.
Karen, if you want to email us to support@powerpetsitter.com, we can send that to you.
Okay, super.
Anytime you guys do have a question, and Shannon, I'm ducking as I say this, you guys can just email them, and they get back to you so fast, which is one of the initial reasons why I went with them. And it's just so great to know that while we're all running our busy businesses, you don't want to wait till tomorrow for an answer. So if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to just shoot them an email. They're there to support you and help you.
And then we also started that new group on Facebook, Let's Share Our Pet Sitting Ideas.
That's right.
That can help you guys there. And not only do we answer it, our users answer those questions as well.
Right. And so if you guys go to one of your last emails, they sent out a link to it, or you can go to Facebook and search. It's called Let's Share Our Pet Sitting Business Ideas. And while we're on the topic of Facebook groups, I also have 2 Facebook groups. One is called I Own a Pet Sitting Company with No Staff. Long, I know. And the other one's called I Own a Pet Sitting Company with Staff. And we are a positive, motivating bunch of people. So you can feel free to try to join any of those 3. What other questions do we have?
Hi, Bill. I have another question.
Yes. Who is this?
This is Adriana, and I'm with For Paws Only, and that's in Burbank, California.
Hi, Adrienne.
Hi. I had a quick question. I'm looking on the mobile website, and when it asks for the business ID, what exactly do I put there, and how would I find that business ID?
That's the numerical numbers at the end of your URL when you log on to Power Pet Sitter, and it's probably 4 digits in your case. So it's the last digit when you log on.
But what if we have our thing remembers our passwords and everything?
And you have what?
My computer remembers my password, so I don't remember. I mean, did you give me that URL when I first signed up or something?
Yeah, you get the URL, or how your clients log in. It's at powerpetsitter.com.net/login ASPX !bid=, and the number. It's that number behind that bid equals.
Oh, okay. So I have to look back on that to find it. Okay.
And that's also the same link, you guys, that you're going to use to be able to be like, schedule services. And that's what it's going to link to. So it links to your personal URL for Power Pet Sitter. And then there's another one, even though it says click here if you're a new user in really small letters, I find that people don't really see that. So what I did is I clicked there, and I grabbed that URL, and I put 2 options on my website. It said new clients or existing clients. So now when you're trying to sell them, and maybe you're in the field or just simply not in front of the computer, you can tell someone, you know what, I got a really easy thing for you. You still at my website? Yes. Go to Schedule Services, click New Client, and you're on your way. It's going to take you less than 5 minutes to put in your information and all your pet's information. As soon as we get that information, we'll call you for a consultation, or however it is that you do it. But getting those links on your website, I think, are vital. And I think they deserve their own tab on your website too, their own page.
Mm-hmm. And then it also empowers those people that have independent contractors. It empowers the client to direct the independent contractor on what to do. If they're scheduling, scheduling, and they're giving the instructions, not the business owner giving the instructions to the sitter. So that kind of helps in that line between independent contractor and employee.
That's a great point, Shannon, that I never thought of. So essentially what you're saying is because when you have independent contractors, the business owner is not supposed to be telling them, feed Fluffy 2 cups of food. They're supposed to be getting their information from the client. So the client, if you redirect them to really put their information into Power Pet Sitter, they're now not getting that information from you. They're getting it from the client. That is fantastic.
Yes, and when I get a new client, I might get that basic information on the phone, the name of them, and then I send them their URL. I send them their username and password, and they change it. And then when the sitter goes on the consultation, anything that they did not get filled out ahead of time, the sitter then has to input it. I don't put anything in there besides their basic name, address, and maybe their pet's name. All that instruction comes from the client or the sitter.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Bella, this is Brenda. This is Brenda with Home Buddies in Vancouver, Washington. Were you saying that the links that you have, the existing client and the new client, was on your website to access PPS?
Yes. In fact, if you want to see it right now, are you at your what was your name? I'm sorry.
It's Brenda.
Brenda?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Brenda, if you want to go right now to callbellas.com, CALLBELLAS, click Schedule Services, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. Great. Wow.
It's so easy, your grandmother could do it.
Great.
Do we have other questions out there?
I have a question. Hi, Bella. This is Gina from the Peaks Pet Nanny in New Jersey. How are you?
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Catherine. How are you? We talk all the time. I have a question. I'm throwing this out there because I've been using Power Pet Sitter for many years and QuickBooks Online as well. I completely agree. They are a perfect marriage. Totally recommend it. I do accept credit cards through Power Pet Sitter. And however, now that I'm becoming more savvy with my QuickBooks, I'm noticing that I can also accept payments through the Intuit services through QuickBooks. There's credit card payments. And it's only 50 cents per payment that I would be that would be deducted from the amount that they owe me. Where through Authorize.net, I'm incurring a percentage of the amount that's being charged plus a monthly fee. So I don't know if anyone's kind of crunched the numbers, have switched from Authorize.net over to Intuit services for their credit card payments. If anybody had any opinions or feedback about that.
I switched to PayPal.
Authorize.net is actually a gateway. So
right.
There's actually many companies that you go through that. So there's a couple of things that you can do. You can obviously shop around, and you obviously know the numbers of your business, so it kind of sounds like a no-brainer. But the offset to that sounds like it would be that you actually have to start running the payments yourself. So the extra money that you're paying, like, I would ask if I were you, how much did you pay last year? Last year I paid $1,200, I think it was, in merchant services fees. And that was totally worth it to me to be able to do it the way I did. So it's really just a matter of, cost analysis for yourself. There is actually a website that I have been going through and I love. It's I'm trying to find it here. It basically gives you a breakdown of all the different credit card merchant services rates. And it's cool, but I mean, if it's that simple that it's just 50 cents a transaction, I would give that some serious thought. But only you can know what's good for your business.
I was just wondering if anybody out there has actually tried this through their QuickBooks Online.
I haven't. I got out of the bank fees and just do PayPal for credit cards and everything like that. Their percentage is less than the banks, but the QuickBooks sounds even better.
Well,
That's what I was thinking.
The 50 cents is is just for check. It's not for credit cards. Credit cards is about the same.
Oh, then PayPal is your best bet on credit cards.
When they go on there and they type in their checking account number, it is 50 cents. But if you do the credit card processing, it's about the same.
That makes sense because there's interchange fees that would make that higher than that 50 cents. The website is credit-card-review.top10reviews.com. I'll post that on the Facebook group for Let's Share Our Business Ideas that Power Pet Sitter has started. I'll share that link there.
Yeah, that's
great. Thank
you.
Or you can just Google Credit Card Processing Review 2013. That should come up as well. But I'll post that in there right now.
Okay, thank you.
But definitely do those numbers. Gina, I'm really proud of you for, looking at the numbers because I think that's something a lot of people don't do enough of. So kudos to you, girl. Who else do we got?
Thank you.
I was going to ask.
Yep.
Sorry.
I also wanted
Hello?
to say with your credit card, can you hear me?
Yep, who we got
go ahead.
on the line?
This is Shannon. I also wanted to say that with your credit card fees, every year I shop them again. I use my bank through Authorize.net, and I shop that rate every year, and every year they get me a lower percentage.
Mm.
Yep. I was just shopping rates 2 weeks ago, and I got a whole bunch of things waived, and it's, you just have to keep pinning them against each other and sending them the proposals, and then all of a sudden they can drop it if it's in writing, It's a game.
Oh, Bella, this is Marcia with Love Bugs in Marietta, Georgia.
Hey, Marcia, how are you?
Hi. Good. And this is maybe a little bit further on that topic, but if you could go over like some of the major points of the merchant accounts as far as the fees that they have. That website is excellent though for giving you a lot of different points to compare, and it literally, it gives you really good data. I like that one. It gives you some of the major banks. I think you can also search for your own. Anyway, but they charge sometimes for a processing fee, and then they charge a monthly service fee, and there's a couple of different ones. And it does take shopping around. PayPal has always been good for us for some years now, but now that we're starting to shop around for rate, it has, in our case, it's not that has changed. We changed. And as the volume's gotten larger, PayPal has now become more expensive than some of the others. So it just really depends on your own numbers. But if you could maybe kind of give us some things to look for when you are comparing A and B.
Well, it's really tough, honest to God, because I wish it was black and white. And Shannon, feel free to chime in. I did a lot of research on this stuff a couple of weeks ago, and I had, they were talking about one company was giving me a 0.2% interchange pass, and then I brought it to another company, and they gave me 0.15 interchange pass. And then you've also got 15 cents for an authorization fee, but then the other company said 10 cents. And then one company had a batch fee for 10 cents, and the other one said, we'll also have a 10-cent batch fee. Then one company has a PCI fee for $7.95 a month. The other company said, we'll waive that fee. Then I brought all that to Costco because I'm a Costco business member, and basically I had apples, and I wanted to compare apples to apples, and they gave me oranges because they do something called tiers. So there is no way that I can actually give you a clean-cut thing. It's tedious work. But as a savvy businesswoman, I would encourage you to take it and shop around and just chalk it up to the same annoyance that health insurance is. Shannon, do you have anything to add to that?
I do think it's also based on your credit, too, the percentages that they give you as well, and how many transactions. Because I own 2 pet sitting companies, and one pet sitting company does a bigger volume at the time of the charge, and the other one does more charges more often. So the percentage are different because of how many transactions you do too. Does that make sense? So
that's interesting, yeah. Those are more factors in the mix.
Yeah, the company that processes more, their percentage is lower. The company that processes less but bigger, then their percentage is a little higher, as well as their per transaction fee. And then you have to also look and see some companies charge for a decline. They will charge you, say it's 30 cents per transaction. They'll charge you they charge it every time it's a decline too. So check with your bank. My bank does not. And then, they'll try to get all these different fees. But again, I get mine reevaluated every year.
Right, and we do too. I think this is a really great conversation, not to stop it, but to carry on to the Facebook group, because we can really post numbers and links and things that different people are finding, rather than take up all the time about credit card fees and stuff. Is there more questions maybe on a customer service level for Power Pet Sitter that I might be able to help transition you with your clients to make your life easier and give you more time?
I have a quick question, Bella. This is Gina again from the Peaks Pet Nanny in New Jersey. And this might be Power Pet Sitter question.
Yeah.
I do encourage my clients to schedule online, and they've been pretty good at doing so. But every so often, I've got somebody that goes in and duplicates their account. And then I have to go in and decide which one I'm going to delete and which one has this information and which one has that information. Is there a way to prevent that from happening?
That's a great question. I like that, Gina.
Well,
thank you.
No, the only way is if they would choose the same username. It would say that username has been used. But once it's saved, I mean, say there's two John Smiths. It doesn't know that it's the same John Smith, and that's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
So, and it doesn't. And until you hit the save button, you would, that's in there. But it happens. It has happened to me, and several times, and I hate it. It drives me bananas too. But it has gotten better for me because I then, when I set somebody up, I let them know. And then, like, if I do a mass email asking people to schedule, say, for spring break in Big Cat, if you have forgotten your username and password, either request it online or ask me for it. Do not duplicate yourself. And that has helped a lot.
Yeah, we do that too. I just wanted to know if there was, something built into the system. They'd be like, "Hey, you already have an account." Like, warning. and you're right. And what they do is
Shannon and Catherine are saying is that it would be hard because the system doesn't know if maybe it's just another John Doe.
Exactly. And what I find is that I'm putting in, perhaps they gave me their work email, and now they're creating a user ID under their personal email address. So the system wouldn't know it, but that tends to happen to us.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions out there?
Sure. This is Brenda again, and I have my staff as employees, and I'm kind of in the midst of communication overload on some days, which I'm sure others experience as well. When the client, they can't go into Power Pet Sitter when it's within that, 24 hours or whatever. So, like, say this morning the client lets my sitter know that they need to add a dinner visit tonight. Is it a way, how can I explain this? Can I give that privilege to the employee? What would it be? Because I've got, some of my employees the access to approve and whatnot, but what one would that fall under? Or maybe it's a Catherine question, if I explained that correctly.
If you have set up in your system and the Power Pet Sitter in your business settings that somebody cannot schedule within less than 24 hours of the start of the service, then the only one that can schedule that would be a person with an admin ability, which is the person that can only schedule in the past.
Okay, it does have to be admin. Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't know the difference between a staff person trying to schedule and a person schedule, because you said no one can within this. I mean, we say only the admin can. These are your block times, so that's what it is. And what I do is if the client communicates with the sitters, and the sitter just texts me and then or emails me, and then I just schedule it in the morning. But, once you train your clients that they can't schedule online, it's 24 hours or whatever your parameters, they'll be, besides emergencies, they'll understand because, you don't want something to slip through and the sitter, wakes up and you didn't approve it, but it shows up on the sitter's schedule and the sitter's freaking out, like, I didn't know I needed to go.
Right.
Told me.
Exactly.
That would cause much more
another
problems.
solution might be, when that message comes up that says, oops, it's 24 hours, you can't book, just direct them. Say, in order to complete this booking, you need to email the office or text if you can text, which I hate it. But you need to email the office and you need to get a confirmation in order to know that it's there. And, I have it set up that even though I have employees, they are not allowed to touch any bookings. They're not allowed to accept them or reject them or anything. And they always say, call Bella, call Bella, call Bella. So my clients know it has to come through me so that a communication breakdown doesn't happen,
Okay. Do you have a manager then, Bella?
No, I don't need a manager. I only spend an hour a day on my business at the most.
Do you do sitting at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I do. I do some of the sitting. That's what I really like to do. So
yeah. Well, this is Brenda, right?
Yes.
What company are you with?
Home Buddies in Vancouver, Washington.
Okay. You can get there. It's just a matter of making everything, get it on systems and processes. And this is a big part of, your overall business system. So maybe we could do I do a free complimentary consultation with everyone for 20 minutes. Maybe you and I could do one if you contact me at Danielle@jumpconsulting.net. I can give you a couple of tips and pointers.
Okay, great.
Okay. Was there someone else chiming up in the background, it sounded like?
Bella?
Yes?
Hi, this is Miriam in Tampa, Florida.
Hi.
My question relates to maybe we're not using the program to the best of our advantage. We have independent contractors, so we don't tell them when they can and can't do a job. We send it out to them and we email them. And we ask them to do the job, so on and so forth, and then they email us back that they can do it. And then we put the reservation in the system, or the client does. But I guess my question is, I know there is the program allows the sitters to put exceptions in there. We don't use any of that. We just basically email the sitters. Are we kind of like maybe not using the system to the best of our advantage because of that?
Well, I think you're working or walking a fine line, and Shannon could probably chime in on this too, but roughly speaking, and I come from the employee stance, yes, Ian your employees, if they are ICs, if they can't work certain days or certain hours, I would maybe implement something like, 2 weeks in advance, I need to know what you're available in 2 weeks, or something like that. So that when you do try to schedule them, what happens is their name comes up in red and you know that they're not available instead of having to go back and forth. Because imagine your business if it was double or triple what it is now. Are you going to be able to continue doing that? No. The system's going to collapse. So you got to figure out a process that's going to work with your growth if that's where you intend to go. Shannon, how do you do it with your independent contractors?
I have them block themselves off. And then if they block themselves off, I will not schedule anything if they're blocked off for those dates and times. If they decide to take time off after they've been scheduled something, it is their responsibility to find another sitter to cover their shifts. But I have like 65, 70 sitters. If I didn't have them block their schedules, I would not know. So to me, the blocking, the availability, the zip code, the rating of the sitters from the scale of 1 to 5, all that is a huge play in my business. Because it's all break, because I cover a large area.
So when you say you block them, do you use the exception hours? Is that the way you block them? Or they block
I use the exception hours. You can use the exception hours in 2 different ways. You can say every Tuesday I'm not available from 11 to 2, or I'm on vacation from April 4th through April 8th, and I can't work any of those hours. You can do it either way.
And another tip for that is,
do you automatically schedule them if they say, hey, I'm off every Tuesday, but I can work every Monday and Wednesday. So do you automatically schedule them and expect them to work? Because that's my biggest fear is that I schedule them and then they come back and go, oh, I can't do it.
No, to me, you either block your time off or you're available. If you're not available after I approve the appointment and I send you a confirmation, it is your responsibility to find your sub. You're an adult and you're a business, because my people are independent contractors. So you're a business owner, technically. You're responsible for your business.
And if they can't do it, you just stop contracting with them. I mean, it's as simple as that. The other thing that I also do is if someone's requesting time off, they ask me for it because I have employees, but yours wouldn't ask on ICs. And then it's their responsibility to put it in the system. It's not my responsibility. It's their responsibility to put it in the system. So if they get approval and they forget, or they forget to put it in, and they're scheduled, it's their responsibility because, like Shannon just said, they're all adults.
Right, but you've got employees, so in our case, we're like, okay, so you can't do it, and we can't really say much to them, so that's
Hey, Marilyn, it's hard to hear you. You're muffled. Are we on speaker or something?
Yes, I am. Hold on. Let me take you off.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's a little bit
okay.
easier
Oh, so much
when
better.
you have
Okay, go on. What were you
employees,
saying?
I guess. Yeah, so I guess it's easier when you have employees, than independent contractors. They feel they can just kind of do whatever they want to, and sometimes you really have to, you have to.
But you always have a choice. You always have a choice. So if you have an independent contractor that doesn't understand, hey, I have to block myself out, and then they get scheduled and they say, hey, you know what? I forgot to block myself out. I can't do this. You now have a choice to give them work again or not.
Right. Or have them, like she says, get someone else, another of what? I guess Shannon uses another one. They just contact another independent contractor to do the job for them, I guess, right?
Well, another contractor that works for us. They know that there's 5 that's their responsibility.
You just give them the phone number or whatever and let them, you have to give them the phone information and say, well, call so-and-so and have them do it if they can.
Right.
Now,
but generally speaking, it kind of sounds like you want employees, but you're running independent contractors.
No, I pretty much let them, I pretty much don't have any control over them at all, and that's the problem, that I have given them full reign. Yeah, exactly. So, because there's such a fine line, but I think we could still do it and still not have that control, but still let them know that they have the responsibility to let us know when they are available and block themselves.
Right. That's just a boundaries line that you've got to draw with them. If I had a sitter that did that more than once, they'd be gone. Mm-hmm. And it's not because they're employees. It's because I have respect for my business, and clearly they don't. So I'm not going to keep giving work to someone who, they're independent contractors. So would you keep hiring the same maid service if they kept canceling on you? No, you go find another maid service, right?
Exactly.
So it's the same
thing.
This
is valuable information for me because I can start doing it differently because it does waste a lot of your time back and forth. Yes. Oh, no, I forgot to tell you I'm not available. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Well, don't forget. You are mature adults.
If you use the system's features and then hold true to it and stick your ground and have your boundaries, you won't have problems. Because like Shannon said, you have 70 contractors, and she commands that respect, and they make it happen. Does anyone else have any questions? We're rounding up to the end of the hour here.
I do. I have a quick question. This is Molly with Wagon Purr in Atlanta.
Hi, Molly.
Y'all may have already, on what you were just talking about, I may have zoned out and missed it. But where do they go to block out their time?
Under their own schedule, just because I'm on the screen right now, so they would, not their schedule, their profile. At the very bottom on the left-hand side, it says exception hours, and that's where they do it.
Okay. And they can, I'm going to go into that. I'm sure I'll have a question after I do, but.
Yeah, it's super easy. There's a little squiggly line, and above the squiggly line you can basically do that's if you're doing every Monday or every Wednesday like Shannon was saying, or below the squiggly line is hey, I'm going on vacation and I need the 4th to the 14th off. It's pretty straightforward. And again, if you have any questions when you get in there, just email Power Pet Sitter, support@powerpetsitter.com, and they're awesome.
So if
I have a question.
Whatever they're blocking out, it wouldn't allow me to go in and schedule them on those days? Is that
You can
accurate?
schedule them, but it comes up as red instead of blue. So if something comes up red, it basically means that they have the exception hours, or they're outside of their the zip code. Sir, did you have a question? I heard a man's voice.
Yes, this is Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Yeah, Pet Sitting in Montana. I'm a relatively new Power Pet Sitter user, and so with the new calendar and the staff schedule, is there going to be a merging of the staff schedule into the calendar, or are there some distinct advantages and uses of those two different tabs?
They're separate, so they're not going to merge together, so it's a preference of what somebody's looking. Some people wanted more of a view of a calendar, or looking like a calendar, feeling like a calendar, so it just is a preference. And then I also wanted to say, I noticed that all of you all have a lot of Power Pet Sitter questions, and we hold a webinar every Tuesday that you can sign up for online at powerpetsitter.com, too, if you wanted to get on a webinar and ask questions and listen. So this just so You ever knew? I don't know if you guys. I assumed you guys.
I didn't even know that. Maybe you should start posting it on Facebook like every Monday or every, reminding people.
I think you're absolutely right, Bella. Yes, I'll let you know that
I didn't even notice it. So I think if you do that, you could get a lot more people in that.
Love it.
What other kind of customer service questions can I answer for you? We've got about 2 minutes left, and then after that we can take it to the Facebook or to the email. Anyone else?
Can't think of anything.
All right, then. My name is Bella Vasta from Jump Consulting. You can email me directly at Danielle@jumpconsulting.net. I offer everybody a 20-minute complimentary consultation just to talk about your woes and your excitements about your business, see if we can help each other out. This is recorded, so it will also be online. And we have the lovely Shannon and Catherine with us from Power Pet Sitter, the awesomest ladies in the pet industry, help and support your business. So definitely get on Facebook and connect with us and let us know how we can help you. Anything else to add, ladies?
Nope, that is it. Thank you so much, Bella. We appreciate it.
My
Thank
pleasure.
You.
Y'all have a good weekend. Happy St. Patty's
Bye-bye.
Day. Bye.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.